Episode of the Gentleman of Style Show. I'm Baldwin.
And I'm Preaching. Today we've got a great show for you. It's going to be action-packed. And we got some of the beautiful, beautiful women of ATL with us.
Yes, we do. And check it out, man. I mean, I've been checking these guys out a little bit. I went back and I did a little bit of research and everything. They are just creative. They're putting their own thing together. They've been doing it for a while. She's going to come in today. She's going to talk to us. She's also involved in a few other things. She has a real estate company. She has another consulting agency. She's a radio personality. I mean, she's just doing it all. Doing it all. I mean, I'm like, dang, can we get in somewhere?
Yeah, well, you know where we fit in. And then we also got another beautiful young lady that's coming. They have a project together. So we got her coming in. It's Kimberly Eurell. This is going to be a great show. It's going to be action-packed. Like I said, whenever you have beautiful women together, it's action-packed. Hey,
it's always action-packed. It's very interesting to find out what they have to say.
So let's get this show started. So let's go ahead and bring on Miss Bizzy Brea.
Come on in.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
That's the gentleman part of the Gentleman Style Show.
Exactly.
You guys look very nice, by the way. I just want to say.
Beautiful as well. Thank you.
All right. And we're just gonna kind of just jump right in.
Okay, great.
Okay. So tell us. I mean, I don't. You know, I know we talked a little bit before the show and everything, but I don't really know where you're from and you know how you came to be. You know, here from a geographical level.
Okay.
Are you from Georgia or are you from somewhere else?
I feel like I am. I've been here so long. I've been here for 19 years now.
19 years?
19.
You belong here.
Right.
You're from here now.
Right. I understand the pollen, I understand the traffic,
Yeah.
and those few, you know, winter storms that come every now and then.
Oh, yeah.
But
Are you talking about like the Snowmageddon we had?
Right.
What you call it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Snowmageddon.
She knows what I'm talking about.
when everybody rushes out and makes a snowman real quick.
Yeah.
But I'm actually born in California, Riverside, California, and raised in Grand Rapids, Michigan, where Floyd Mayweather is from. I actually went to
That's a
school with
nice
him in middle school.
flavor you got going on there.
Yeah.
California, Michigan.
Yeah.
I don't know what type of person does that produce?
A very well-rounded, not afraid of weather type of person.
That has got to be true. Coming from the West Coast, going to Michigan,
Yep.
then making your way to Atlanta.
Atlanta, yeah. I moved here in 2000.
Yeah, that's different.
Okay. So you've been here. Okay, yeah.
What do you remember about? I didn't mean to cut you off. What do you remember about Riverside? I spent some time in Riverside when I was in the military.
Oh,
so,
did you?
yeah.
Okay, yeah. There's a lot of military in some military area. Yeah, not much actually. I was only there for about 5 years, so not much. But I still have a lot of family, like in San Bernardino, Fresno, Riverside. So.
Do you have family here?
I have an aunt.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I know how it is and everything.
Yeah.
Then you have to create other family members.
Absolutely, your friends
Yes.
become your family
Your friends
when
become
you're
your
so far
family.
away.
Exactly.
That's kind of the way it ends up anyway. I
Yeah.
mean, over the years, it just seems like, I mean, you have your family, but you spend more time a lot of times with your friends, doing different things.
Yeah.
And if you have kids that, you know, grow up together. So that's,
Yeah,
that's
I mean, it's nice because you get to meet people and you get to find out, and you actually really get to appreciate your family because you're away from them, you know,
right.
for a long period of time, like me, almost 20 years. So.
Well, tell me this. You know, per the introduction, Bizzy Brea. Where did that come from? The Bizzy Brea. Tell us about
Actually, that name came from my mom. When I told her I was gonna form my own company, she said, "Well, what are you gonna name it?" And I said, "I don't know." That kind of was gonna be the last thing. She goes, "Well, you need to be something like Bizzy Bee, because you're always so busy and doing so much stuff. So that actually came from my mom. So I got to give her credit for that.
Make sure that check's signed. Make sure the last name is correct.
Right.
When we give credit, people want checks.
Exactly. Yeah,
Right.
she gets the credit for that one.
Oh yeah.
Because she's like, you're always so busy. She'll actually text me, is it okay to talk? I'm like, Mom, you can just call me. It can go to voicemail, I'll call you back.
Right. I mean, that's good though. She's respectful of your
I
time.
know.
And, good moms are hard to find.
Exactly.
So let's talk about the company.
Okay, great.
Well, what part of the company started first? Because I know it's multifaceted. So what part of the company started first?
Well, I have been in staffing in the power industry, so utility, nuclear, coal, combined cycle power, staffing.
And this is Bizzy Bee Consulting.
This was before that.
Okay, this is before
working
that.
in corporate
Okay.
America. And I became really passionate about staffing and helping people find job opportunities to support their families. So
Nice.
it's a really good feeling to do something that helps people every day. And I just wanted to create my own company so that I could have more accessibility to the money that I'm making, and you get a certain amount of commissions or bonuses, and it's just more of an empowerment thing to be able to create your own success financially.
Right.
So the staffing, definitely. I'm also heavily involved in entertainment, so I want to combine the two. So a lot of people, sometimes they go through hiatus, or they'll go through a period of not being able to work in the entertainment industry, and so they'll need to get back out there into the field. So I have helped a lot of entertainers, musicians, or actors or actresses, get back into the corporate world. So I'll help them create a resume, find them work, things of that nature. So it's on that side, it's actually been more entertainers that I've helped find work.
That is absolutely amazing, because you think about that. People think, I guess, when you get into the entertainment business, that's it for you.
Right.
And sometimes you don't want to do that anymore.
Yep. Or you can't, for whatever reason.
That's true, too. But you have to make a living. So
Exactly.
it's great to know that you've got a staffing service that says, hey, I don't care what you used to do, but we can help you do what you're trying to do now. So
And it started off with just friends and family coming, to me, and I'm like, well, I'm only involved in the power industry. I can't really help you unless you're, you've came out of the military and you worked on a gas turbine, or you've worked, at a nuclear facility or a submarine, and you have this type of mechanical experience. So, but then I said, well, I want to help these people. Everyone keeps coming to me. So that's kind of how the whole, to make a long story short, that's how it came to me.
Well, let me ask you this, and let's talk about the business side of that just a little bit. With your company, forming your company and getting it together and making it a viable business,
Right.
what type of things did you have to go through from in the background? People see the surface of it and they see what you're doing, but they don't know what you had to do
Exactly.
to get there. Tell us a little bit about that.
A lot of research. First, you have to research if anybody has your corporation name, first of all. So, and then you have to find out how to create your LLC.
listen to this, people. We talk about stuff like this on this show a lot, so I mean to cut you off, but
No,
see,
you're
it's not
fine,
just
yeah.
what we're saying. So,
Right.
but continue. Yeah.
You have to find out, are you going to need, how banks are really funny about large amount of cash being exchanged, So having a banking, a business banking account. How are you going to cut checks to people? This has kept me up till 3 o'clock in the morning. How am I going to pay this person? And how's the IRS going to respond? It was funny because once I did get the LLC in place, all this paperwork started coming to me in the mail, and I'm like, what the heck is this? Then even some fraud stuff started coming to me. Make sure you pay this. You got to have signage in your office. I don't have an office yet. I do now, but at the time I didn't. I'm like, what is all this? So it really is a process. You have to, your first business, official business, you really have to do the research. You got to ask questions. And sometimes even if you go on the internet, you will come across bad information as well.
Absolutely.
And just surrounding yourself with other businessmen and or businesswomen and what they went through, their trials or tribulations, getting the information from them on what they did, the mistakes they made. Because, the more you know, the less mistakes, usually.
Did you have like a, say a go-to source?
I did.
That really had, okay, what was your go-to source? Was
Just-
it a person or was it like?
It was 2 people that I
okay,
knew who were
okay.
actually in real estate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That had created companies.
So they gave you the foundation and said, hey, you need to be here, do this. They pointed you in the right direction.
Yes.
They showed you, okay, you need this form or you need a form.
Yes.
Do-
I've actually
do you-
had 2 prior names
Okay.
And the first time it was done wrong, so I had to start over again.
Oh, really? Tell us about that, because that might be something that we need to know.
I just trusted somebody who I thought could go ahead and file the paperwork for me, and they attached themselves to my company, and that's not what I wanted to
So
have
you had to
happen.
kill the entity.
That's correct.
And start it again.
Yes.
Okay.
So I
y'all
started getting
hear that?
emails from the IRS saying, you know, you need to hurry up and pay this amount of money, and I'm like, no, let's just dissolve it altogether. I was trying to figure out a way to get rid of it, and it kind of, you know, the universe responded.
Right.
Anyway.
Right.
So in having mentors, I think that's something that we talk about from time to time. Somewhere down the line, really putting together a great mentorship for a series of different, you know, young people, not just men, but young people in general. How important was that, having a good mentor to kind of give you that information?
I think it's so important. Like, I don't feel like I've had a lot of that myself kind of growing up. I've been
I totally
completely
understand.
self-made.
Right.
I mean, even from high school, everything I was involved in, I didn't really have that person to go to. I realized how important that is, because you can save yourself time,
A lot of
money.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
You can save yourself time, you can save yourself money, and just looking like a fool out here, you know?
Right.
So I think it's important. I actually had somebody come in that I helped place this operator for a power plant, and he said, hey, would you mind coming to our hometown in South Carolina and talking to a group of high school students, all African American. We're getting a lot of managers, project managers, because that type of industry isn't being put out there. And there's a lot of money in that industry, and people don't know about it. And if our community knows about it,
Right.
we can.
Get involved.
Exactly.
And start
Right.
to look in those directions.
So I'm looking forward to doing that, speaking to high school kids about that type of industry as well.
So do you give them the ladder on how to get into that industry, or is it like a more of a blanketed, hey, this is what's out there, you can have X amount of dollars, it's underserved? Is it that type of presentation, or is it like a how-to, or is it I can relay the information, if you need more, come this way?
Sure, all three. I haven't done it yet. So yeah, keep going, because
All of the above.
I haven't done it yet, but I'm
Right.
thinking about what to talk about. So
Right.
yeah.
Right.
What else ideas do you have?
Hey, you just don't know. You're looking at a lot of stuff going on.
Right, I love
We
it.
can-
Yeah,
You know, we can talk.
Yeah, we can definitely.
yeah. Help me with the outline.
So we've talked about the staffing portion of it. We also understand that part of that business is also real estate.
Yes.
So how did those two how did they start dating and then make the marriage, I guess?
Okay. Actually, I started dating someone, because you said dating, so that was a real estate agent, and it was like it opened up a whole new world for me. And he kept right, and he kept telling me that recruiting and real estate was so similar, because he would go over his processes, and then I would go over my processes, and it's basically, you know, you got your client, you know, you've got your candidate or your buyer,
Right.
and then you've got the who's going to fund it, or the client. So you've got all three, and all three have to meet, you know, be on the same page to make that deal happen.
Right.
Never really thought about it like that.
Yeah, I know. I connected the dots once we started talking more over a course of a year. So I started to become interested in real estate, and I said, a lot of people, every time I go somewhere, even if it's at a casting for acting, people are always talking about real estate. You know, you can be at a corner, in a
That's
restaurant,
true.
you hear
Right.
people talking about real estate all the time. And a lot of people don't know who to trust, they don't know who to go to. You know, hey, you know, you can always find a bad dentist, a bad doctor, or a bad real estate agent, right? So I said, well, what if we incorporated that into the Bizzy Bee Consultants, because it's consulting,
Right.
and have a real estate referral business. So that's how that came.
Oh, so it's real estate
Referral
referral.
Yep.
You have people,
in
partners.
place. Yep.
and they come to you, they see you're out there, or you may meet them, however, and you can refer them.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm gonna actually, I'm in the process of revamping my site, but I will have like an application page where you can put in like.
Right
this
on,
is-
right there.
Yeah,
So they don't even
so-
have to go all the way down. They can start right there with you.
There you go. So I could, you know, give them a card. Hey, you could fill out, because at
Start
first I was just
process.
emailing them. I'm like, this is taking too long. I need to have a better process.
Right.
So I'm going to. It hasn't happened yet. So if you go on the website, it's not there yet.
No, that's the way to go though. That cuts down like some of the work.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
go in there, say, yeah, first home buyer.
Mm-hmm.
Have you already been pre-approved?
Mhm.
People, a lot of people don't even know you got to be pre-approved.
Right.
You kind of do. Is this your first home? Have you been foreclosed within the last 10 years? Or
Mhm.
all the things that are needed to know what kind of realtor I need to refer you to anyways.
Right.
Do you need to get credit repair? Everybody's doing credit repair right now.
Yeah.
God.
So,
I am
Over the
if you don't know how to get your credit
No-
repaired,
right, no
you got problems.
disrespect.
All you gotta do is go on Facebook.
You know something interesting I learned about credit repair? You know how everybody's, like you say, everyone's doing it right now
Yep.
and everything. There is an app that gives you X, Y, and Z.
Credit Karma?
Huh?
Credit Karma? Or are you talking
No, it's
about
not Credit
another?
Karma. It's
Oh,
an
okay.
actual app. I actually have it saved. I
Oh,
have it
wow.
saved and everything. Anytime I see something that's interesting
Yeah.
like that, and I save, I have a note thing on my phone. I just got all notes. Anytime I think of something, I just put it in there. It's in there. So there's an app. You can go out there and you can use that app. It does the same thing that anyone that
Wow.
does credit repair. It just guides you through everything that you need to do. It's the same information that's in there. You don't really, I mean, if someone
you just
wants to,
follow the
if somebody
app.
wants to use a person, they
Yeah.
can, but it's just, you
And
can
pay
just,
them.
yeah, pay them. I mean, that's up to them if they don't
Yeah.
want to
Look,
work.
I'll
with
be
you.
the first to say, I haven't always had good credit. There were some times I was younger, you know. You do some things, you get some credit cards, and
Times
you
when
live
you're
your
younger.
life. You know what I mean? I repaired
College.
my own credit. Exactly.
Right, it's not that hard. It's
Yeah,
just,
it's not that hard.
It's
I
an
repaired
open
my own
resource as far as how to
Right.
do that. They don't make it. It's not a mystery. If you want to know how to
Yeah.
do it, you just go out there and figure it out.
You're set up when you're young. First of all, if you go to college, you're
Oh, you're gonna
touted
get a credit
anyways.
card. Yeah, they
Because
gonna
you
try to
just
get it.
walk into that food court or you walk into that building.
Here.
There's somebody sitting at a desk. Do you want a free keychain? Do you want this? Here, all you gotta do is
Here's
fill out
the
Fill out his
this.
Visa card.
application. And then you
That's
get,
how mine started.
Yes, and then you
That's how
get
mine
you get
started.
you get
Exactly,
this
same way.
letter in the mail
Yup.
with a credit card in it
And you're
With a
already
limit.
broke because you're in college, right?
Free money?
with a
Right.
limit on it.
Free
All
money?
you have to
What?
pay is $25 a month. Oh man,
What?
I can pay $25 a
Right.
month.
Yeah, we're going to the
And then you know how it is when you're already, you know, you got your little food card,
Yeah.
and it's very limited. But then you get they're like, oh, you can get a credit line of, you know, even if it's $500 in college, that's a
That's a
lot.
lot.
$500, $1,000. Oh man, I want a pizza right now.
Bam.
Here you go. What numbers?
Easy.
Here you go. So it's easy to get caught up, but it's amazing how long that one decision
Can
makes
last
you
Years.
in college. Years to come.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, well, the other part you said something earlier about casting calls.
Mm-hmm.
So that leads me to believe you love the entertainment industry
Oh,
for
yes,
yourself as well.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me some about that, about the whole acting process and wanting to do the entertainment side of it.
Well, you know, being from California, it's funny. My family's heavily involved in music and entertainment. I've actually got
Anybody famous we know?
I wouldn't say famous, but they're all working, you know, musicians or comedians. Fred Potter out of Lansing, Michigan. But
Shout out.
they're, but no, everybody's, you know, can play the piano except for me. So yeah, I've always loved the entertainment industry. It's just acting, music, and I did go, when I went to school, I did take a minor in theater.
Okay.
And I've been in musicals, in plays, and you know, and I'm also with a talent agency now, Multiple Talent Agency. Done some commercials, and one recently with my daughter,
Oh, that's cool.
and an orthopedic surgeon commercial. So a lot of people have noticed me in recently, so that was kind of cool. That I wasn't expecting, just was looking for a check.
Right.
But and so yeah, so recently, you know, I used to host What's Happening TV that was on the prior UPN. Remember UPN?
Yeah, I heard
That sounds, yeah.
Yeah, so I was a TV host for UPN, and I interviewed a lot of celebrities for that show. We did it for 2 years, and we also introduced the top 10 music videos as well. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then just recently, that same creator of that show, Rodney, asked me back as a TV host to interview music celebrities for his new endeavor, officialmusicbible.com.
Ah.
So that's going to be interesting. Yeah, it's going to be all pretty much, you know, A-list musicians or artists. So that's going to be fun. And then me and a really good friend of mine, Kimberly Eurell,
Yeah.
we are heavily involved with a new reality show called ATL Socially Lit.
ATL Socially Lit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like the ring of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. That's kind of what drew me in, and then the whole real estate. I was like, this woman who does all these things. I'm like, I got to figure out what else she does. I got to get some information, some insight. So that, you know, that's kind of how I kind of found. I can't say I found her. She's been out there. So that's how I ended up coming across her, and it was like, okay. And then once I conferred with my partner, he was like, wow, okay, yeah. We need to know the backstory. So that First, I've got to ask this question: Socially Lit. Is there anything behind that title? Is it just something you guys were?
You know, honestly, I didn't come up with that name, so Kim will be able to talk to you more about
yeah,
that.
Kim will be
I don't
here
want
in a
to
little
take
bit,
credit
so,
for her.
yeah.
That's her title. That's her. She told me about this show.
Okay.
I did.
What-
I was like, what do I need to do to
Right.
help?
Yeah, that's what I
That's-
wanted to. That's what I'm about to ask. What is your part?
I've always been a writer,
Right.
and I've always been a creator in the creative process. So I knew where she wanted to go with it. I felt like I could bring more of the writing, scripting portion to the
Okay.
show.
Okay.
And so far it's been great. We released an unofficial season on YouTube. We wanted to release it and get people's feedback, and lots of people had lots of stuff to say.
Okay, when you say people had a lot
Lot
of stuff to say.
say. No, good and bad.
Yeah.
And we wanted that.
You want the bad.
We want it all.
want
Give
the
it to
bad.
us. Give us the raw. Is somebody
need
too
haters.
fat? Somebody
need
too
them.
skinny? Whatever. It could be physical. It could be mental. You think so and so's fake? Give us everything. You
Right.
know, we're not. If you have thin skin in this
It's not
industry,
the
you're in the
business.
wrong business.
It's not a business for you.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing too. When you're doing anything and you're vulnerable, you have to understand it's coming. No matter how you
Yeah.
look at it, it's coming.
And you may
So-
be in it and say, "Oh, this hurt my feelings. I don't need to be in this industry. I don't like people coming at me," and then that's fine too. You know, because people want to do stuff, but until you actually do it, it's a lot of work. I mean, even what you guys do, people see this. You guys are looking really nice with your suits, but they don't know what you all did to prepare to get here today.
Well, we talk about that all the
We
time.
do. We really appreciate you saying that so that people really.
Oh, yeah.
I think that.
Well, you know what it takes.
Right.
You know what happens.
Planning, all the planning that's
Right.
involved, and man,
I think people think we turn these lights on and we sit down and it's
And that's it.
it's ready to go. Let's
That's
put on the suit and.
Yeah.
and
you just went like
let's
this, and the suit just
go.
flew on you.
Here we go. Let's do it. So
Yeah.
it's
nothing else going
you know,
on.
Right.
the preparation, but you said it earlier. The preparation for anything worthwhile. You're creating your own business, creating your own show. Whatever you're doing, the preparation is key, but it's also time consuming.
Oh, very.
And if you're not in it, for the right reasons, it'll destroy you. because
Absolutely.
You'll probably, I hate to say it, but you'll probably fail. That's the bottom
What's today? Saturday?
Yeah.
We could all be at day parties right now. Because they got them. It's Atlanta.
line. It's
Yeah.
Atlanta.
We could be at day parties.
That's
Lay,
cool.
it's not that nice, but it will be. And we
Right.
could be laying out, but we are choosing to use our time for
And
a
it's
better
Cinco de
cause.
Mayo weekend. So
Right.
Indeed.
What?
Exactly.
Indeed.
Right.
Indeed.
So no, we say this all the time. Me and Kim, we talk a lot.
Big martinis.
Exactly. We talk all the time and we say, and people will just see us and it looks like we're having fun, which we are.
Right.
Don't get us wrong, we're having
Oh,
fun.
yeah, most
Right.
definitely.
But there's a lot more to it, So they just see that part and think we're just having one big party.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
So tell us, what's next for Bizzy Brea? Tell us.
So I just recently was hired to do the weather and fun facts segment, which I do cover specifically African American historical events. A lot that that aren't told in elementary schools or even high schools.
like that.
Or,
I
unless
like
you take a
that. I like
specific
that a
class
lot.
in college.
Exactly.
So I have to do my own research to find out, inventors.
Even
and-
better.
Yeah. So I do my own research, and I do cover those topics every Friday at 5:45 Eastern Standard Time. Every Friday on Hot 97 Media,
Okay.
which you can find on the TuneIn app.
Okay.
And they're supposed to be transitioning to XM radio soon as well.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
yep, I've been doing that for I think 3-4 months now.
Good.
So, and I cover Atlanta, Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas,
Mhm.
and New York.
I really like that a lot. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah,
It's a lot of work because I'm working too, so I gotta fit that
I
in,
mean,
and I gotta
it's
send
a-
in my broadcast and
It's important
That's
work
fun.
though.
Yeah.
It's a lot of stuff out there that's been lost that someone's got to do the work and put it out there, and it kind of makes it easier for someone else to pick up on it.
Yeah.
But it's important work that we find out these things and we share. We
Yeah.
share that type of information.
yeah,
Because over the years, the history that we've been fed is not really what it is. Some of it's true, some of it's not true. So,
yeah. And I mean, I'll cover all aspects of African American culture, from
Right.
sports to politics, and I like to do a lot of the invention stuff because we're not told.
Right.
So I'll even start reading this stuff. I'm like, I didn't know that. Like,
Right.
so I'm learning too. So that's why I like it, because I'm
Exactly.
learning.
You got me.
Exactly.
I like that. I like that a lot. It's Very nice.
It is.
Very nice.
And there was something else I wanted to ask you, and I think I lost my train of thought.
Sorry, it's gonna come.
Oh, I know what it was.
Go ahead.
It was
Go ahead.
the fields that you're in are sometimes not dominated by men. How is that interaction for you been so far? When you're talking about entertainment-wise, to a certain degree, you know, a lot of men, especially with VJs, and you know, it's changing a little bit, and disc jockeys, if they even call them that, but radio personnel, all these things, it's been kind of dominated by men for the most part.
Yeah,
so
that's
how
true.
has your interaction been in moving into these different spaces?
It's actually one of the reasons why I got out of the music industry. I wasn't able to really do what I wanted to do because, you know, with women, they want to put their own spin on every creative thing you have going on. So I said, if I ever do music, it's just going to be for myself, and, you know. But with the other industries that you were speaking of, I don't really pay attention to it. I just kind of I don't know. I just move at my own pace, and I don't really try to focus on the negative or focus on where I feel I'm restricted. I just kind of just go for it, and I don't really even look at it as an issue.
So your part in the music industry, are you speaking from the artist standpoint?
Yeah, from the
Okay,
artist standpoint,
okay,
years
okay.
ago. Yeah, I definitely don't do it anymore, just
Okay.
because it's just been too exhausting.
Okay.
But as far as the acting and even the power industry of staffing, it's definitely male dominated. You're absolutely correct. But I'm used to it, so I don't really look at it as an issue.
Well, I can tell you don't have a problem. You have a very dominant attitude.
I do?
Well,
Everybody
it
tells me that.
it just kind of comes across.
Yeah.
It's like you walk in, like, I'm talking, yeah, listen to me. I don't mean, I could be wrong. I mean, that's
No,
what,
you're
that's
right.
How, that's how I thought.
Look, I didn't really get that per se.
I got that. You didn't get it.
No, I mean, I guess what I took from that is, look, I'm gonna handle my business. You make sure you handle yours. But
Oh man, you just trying to be suave.
No, you just put another spin on it. I think we're saying the same thing. I guess I'm thinking of it just differently. You like, hey, I'm talking. Everybody else shut up. You know.
Well, I know what you're saying, because some women will be, I don't know the word I'm trying to say, not maybe shy, or just like, you know, if somebody interrupts them, they'll just be quiet. I'm probably not going to be quiet.
Right.
Well, hold on. Well, let me finish what I had to say. Then you can get back to what you were saying. And people that either rub somebody the wrong way, or, you know, especially with men, you know how you guys are with your egos and stuff.
I don't know because it's
Not all
like,
guys, but
some.
some.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
But you know, some
No, I'm
guys.
just saying. I mean, I just kind of like, okay, she's trying to say something. You know, I mean, I wouldn't cut you off.
I
You know,
appreciate
but
You cut me off all the time.
hey, you old.
He's known you for 20 years.
You cut me off all the time.
That's different.
I never get my thought out.
Yeah. So, yeah, what else you got?
All right, man, we're gonna go ahead and bring
switch
Cam
it
on out. Yeah, we
Yay!
got to bring
Let's
Cam
talk to
out.
Miss Eurell.
You know,
Yes.
Find out what's going on
see
in
what's
her
going
head.
on with her.
See what's going
And
on.
then you guys stay tuned, and you know, Bizzy's gonna be back with us a little bit, and we'll have both the ladies out here at the same time and chop it up with them on some different stuff. And so you guys stay tuned.
Stay in place.
All right.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome into the show, Kimberly Eurell. Excellent.
All right.
Kimberly Eurell. I just wanted to let you guys know, I just love that name, by the way. It just kind of just rolls off your tongue.
Thank you.
Kimberly Eurell. Let me say it one more time.
Oh.
Kimberly
This guy right here.
Eurell.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's just like, that's just awesome.
All right.
Anyway, let's jump right into it, Kimberly. You know, we talked a little bit before the show. And I understand that you're from Alabama, born and raised.
Yes, Greenville, Alabama.
Tell us a little bit about life in Alabama.
Oh gosh, Greenville, Alabama. Growing up in Greenville, Alabama, I kind of felt like I was out of place.
Why?
How so? Yeah.
Because it was
A lot of
like,
white people there.
yes and no.
It's okay. If it is. That's what it is.
I just felt like
United
I was,
States is 73% white people.
yeah, it was. I just felt like, as a little kid, I was always glued to the television, and I'm watching these fast cities like New York, New Jersey, California.
Let me ask you, did you have black and white TV, or what kind of TV was it?
I did have black and white TV.
Yeah, me too.
Trying to make me tell my age.
Nah,
Right.
you just talk-
He's trying to date us all up here. None of y'all
Move right
business.
along.
Yeah.
Move right along.
Go ahead.
But yeah, I watched a lot of TV, and I saw a lot of things that intrigued me that we didn't have in Alabama.
Okay.
You know,
Like?
in Alabama, the only thing we were taught to do is go to school, go to work, make a living, and live.
Right.
Right.
And the things I was seeing on TV was, the videos, the fun, the travel, the models, the clothing.
pretty
and-
clothes,
yeah.
yeah.
And I wanted a piece of that. So I felt like I was out of place because there was no way where in Alabama to do all of that.
Right.
So,
I feel like I lived like a dual existence. But go ahead, you continue.
But yeah, so I just always felt out of place, and I always said that once I was old enough to move, I'm out of there. And that's what happened. I still love where I'm from.
Oh,
I
yeah,
rep it
that's
all the time. A lot of people ask me where I'm from, and I'm like, LA. They was like, oh, LA, where in LA? I was like, not Los Angeles, but lower Alabama.
Oh.
See people. See people.
Okay.
See.
Okay. So when you finally decided to leave, where was your first destination? Where did you go?
Well, it was supposed to have been California, but I ended up going into the Army.
Okay. What branch? Oh, Army. I said what branch?
I get that all
You
the
about
time.
to
It's
say
okay,
it.
I
You
get that all the
about
time.
to- yeah.
But yeah, I went into the Army, and
You were airborne? You jumped?
no, I wanted to, but I didn't like running. It wasn't a jumping out of the plane. It was a running. I was lazy.
Hold up. Kim,
You went to the Army, you ain't like running.
how did you
PT
end up in the
come
Army
here,
and you did
boy.
not like running?
Because a lot of people in my family, a lot of men in my family are all military.
Okay.
So, and my brother's a
lied to
person that I looked up to.
Right.
And he was like a father to me. So I was like, my brother went into the military. I'm going to go into the military too. So that's what I ended up doing.
How was the experience? Like,
Oh.
was it having those, those Army people early on? Shut up. I'll just ask. Anyway, but no, how was it, like, of course, when you know a lot of people in the military or whatever, they tell you different stories. How was your experience once you got there? Like, was it everything they said, or was it totally
It
different?
was totally different.
That's
Oh,
And-
That's
and-
exactly what I was getting
And the
at.
thing that I heard from them were, oh, they're going to be yelling at you. They're going to wake you up. You're not going to get sleep. You're going to get shot at. And then a lot of those people had never joined. Never joined. They heard
Yeah.
the war tales. They watched TV and all the movies and everything, but it was nothing like it. But my experience was great. At first, I actually did it twice. I got out when I first went in. I was 17,
Right.
and I got out maybe a year later. I was a chicken. But then I was, I hate to let things beat me, so I
Right.
went back
Okay.
and I did 10 years, and I loved it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Thank you.
Bravo.
For your service. Most
Outstanding.
definitely. Most definitely.
Thank you for yours.
Yeah. So that's outstanding. The reason why I asked that question, and that's the express reason, because a lot of people will tell you, oh, if you go in this branch or you go in this, oh, it's this, it's that. The experience is your own, and it's
Right.
really about who you are as a person. So when you get in there, it's always normally totally different than you think it is,
Right.
because it's like, it wasn't like that for me,
Right.
So yeah, I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, it was actually pretty easy because, in basic training, you're pretty much told what to do. You don't have to think for yourselves. You get up, you got to go to PT, you got to go to chow, you got to do weapons training, weapons cleaning, you learn cadence. And, so your day is already planned out for you. And then once you get out, then a basic training, you go to your school, you learn your job. And then once you go to your permanent duty station, it's a job. You get up every day, you do your PT, you go home, and you get your day started, and you go home at the end of the night.
You mentioned you learn cadence. What's your favorite one?
Drill sergeant, why don't you leave me alone? Why don't you go home? Something like that. It's been a while. But anyway, my son and I were actually watching South Carolina. What's it? Fort Jackson. We were watching Fort Jackson basic training the other day, and we were going through all the cadence because he actually went in himself, and we were watching all the cadences and everything, and it's a lot different because now they give you stress cards. Like we didn't get a chance to pull a stress card. Like I'm
I don't
stressed
even know
out.
what that.
Go home.
What?
What is that? What is that?
I don't know.
That was the purpose of boot camp, to
Right,
be stressed out.
They get to choose if they want to stay in or if they want to go home.
Really?
Yeah, and you know, when we went in, it was like,
That sounds like daycare.
right.
Wow.
Man, you're supposed to be taking to the country.
This
What are you talking about?
is a new military thing.
Yeah.
It is.
I don't know anything
totally
about
different.
that. Stressed, I stayed stressed out. No, but the one thing that you said is funny. Your day is so structured. By the time you think about it, it's time to go to bed.
Right.
By the time you go to bed, it's time to get up.
Right.
So when you go through all that, how was it when you kind of got out, got your first leave? Did you find yourself still getting up at the crack of dawn,
I
like,
did.
what should I do next?
I did. It was a programming.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, I'm gonna stick this battery in the back of your back, turn you on, and
Let's
go.
go.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I'll be remiss when I ask you about cadence if I don't tell you my favorite cadence.
What is-
Oh,
The coffee in the army, they say it's mighty fine.
hell.
Some jumped up, oh no, it looked like bloody water and
It
tastes like turpentine.
turpentine.
Oh mom, I wanna go
Oh,
home.
Right.
The dressage won't let me go home.
This is
Go
why
ahead,
I
move right
never,
along.
this is why I never go anywhere with this guy. Really. But
Anyway,
go ahead.
moving right along. Okay, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. You're in Atlanta, Georgia. It's the home of
Hold on. How did you get to Atlanta? You skipped over
Okay,
it.
okay,
Yeah.
that's fair. That's fair. Go ahead.
How did you make your way to the ATL?
Well, once I got out of the Army, I moved down to Charlotte, and I moved a little further to South Carolina.
QC?
Yes.
Queen City?
Around the QC.
What?
Yeah, but I was kind of lost there because things weren't working for me, and I was trying to. I started a business. It was a fashion business,
Okay.
online boutique. Didn't know anything about it. Just jumped up one day and said, "Hey, I love fashion. People like to look good. I want to start a business."
Right.
Hadn't done my research. Hadn't done a lot of things, and I just started buying things cold turkey
Most
out of
people.
my pocket. And a lot of stuff that I was buying, it was coming from China, and their sizes are totally different.
Absolutely
Right.
different.
Right. And I'm 5'9".
In case y'all didn't know that, you didn't see her standing next to me, but yeah, she's a legit
She
five.
representing y'all.
Yeah, she's a
She
legit
was
five.
Amazons.
representing.
Yeah, go ahead.
For real.
Amazons. So, but yeah, and I started buying all these things, and when they got there, and I didn't buy like trial pieces, I bought bulk. So
Right.
when they got there, I'm like, whose kid is gonna wear this? Like this is too small. So I lost a lot of money in
funny.
that, and I tried to, peddle it off as much as I could, giving it away practically. And then I started working a job to try to replenish what I had already spent out.
Right.
So anyway, I started with this prestigious bank, one of the big four banks, and we got displaced. And I was like, why am I still here in the Carolinas? I'm gonna move to Atlanta. Fashion, blogging, everything is here. So I ended up moving here. It's been about 5 years ago.
Okay.
You love it?
I like it. It's different.
How has the movements been here in Atlanta as far as like, because it's a lot of stuff goes on here. I mean, you got, like we were talking earlier about day parties and all this and that, where you could be. I mean, it's like something constantly is happening. If you really want to get into something, I'm talking about from any facet, from business to entertainment to just like laid back leisure, whatever it is that you want to do, you can probably find it here. The only thing you can't find here is live reggae music.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that.
Yeah, I've tried.
Yeah.
I haven't.
That's the only thing you can't find here.
Yeah, I haven't even been
There
to
was
any
one spot
events.
here years ago. You know what I'm talking about?
Well,
years ago.
Even on Auburn Avenue, they used to have, I think it's still
That's the
there.
spot.
The,
Is it still there?
what's the name of that place on Auburn Avenue?
We'll get back to
I've
that.
been here 5 years.
But
So
yeah, so back to that, navigating through Atlanta. What is your experience as far as culturally wise, the people, and finding your way and going to different places? What's happening that you find is comfortable to you?
well, I will say that the majority of the people who live here in Atlanta are not from Atlanta.
Exactly.
True.
So it's very diverse, which being military, I'm totally okay with
Yeah,
it.
you're good.
I love it.
Right.
The only thing that I would say is it took me maybe 3 years to actually find a group of people that I was comfortable with. And you can't, being in Atlanta, you can't sit at home waiting on other people to come to you. You
right.
have to get out. There's so much to do.
Right.
And it's like New York City never sleeps.
Right.
There's always something to
There's
do.
always something.
So I would say that if somebody's here and they can't find anything to do or find anything to get into, then they're not trying.
Yeah, they're not
trying,
They're
they're not
absolutely.
looking
It's a
not
great
trying
place to
at all.
network because you never know who you're sitting next to.
True.
Yeah.
True. That's very true.
And peace. I think the one thing that I have found out about, just being part of Atlanta and Georgia and everything that goes on, there's so many people here looking to network.
Right.
They enjoy meeting people and saying, "You do what? Huh?
And they want to talk about it.
Yeah.
They want to talk about it. People, you think that people are like shut off and, to themselves. And a lot of times, I'll tell you, I was in Lowe's earlier this week, and I was, getting some stuff. And, this old white guy right there, you think that, you wouldn't have anything in common.
Right.
Man, that dude talked for like 45 minutes.
About nothing."
Well, it was about
stuff,
some,
but
but it was, but yeah, I mean, it's just that easy sometimes,
It is.
It's just as easy as saying hi. I was at a restaurant the other day. Guy pulled up outside. He had a very nice truck. He came through and we were sitting outside. I said, "Man, it's a nice truck you have and everything." Man, me and him talked for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
On that,
You just be talking to just a bunch
Well,
of
just
people.
like,
No, dude.
hey man, you're trying to meet people.
That's this guy.
We're in Atlanta, man. You got to be socially lit.
Yeah.
Straight
Yeah.
Straight trans.
I understand that you're a creative and you have a show.
I do. It's called ATL Socially Lit.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
I love the show. At first, when we I got a chance to meet a great group of girls.
Okay.
We started off as 8.
Okay.
Now there's 5.
So we knocked off 3.
Hold on.
We knocked off
Let
3.
me see how this goes now. This ain't like Survivor or American Idol, is it now? You started with 8, now you got 5. Where are we with the 3?
We kind of expected, collectively expected that they will weed themselves out.
Okay.
So that's what happened.
Well, tell us about this show a little bit. Tell us about tell us about your creative side of it, and how you got to the place to where now you have this show. Let's talk about that.
Okay. About 5 years ago, I met my friend Brea, and we were actually
Is that Bizzy Brea?
Bizzy Brea.
Oh, okay.
And we were actually getting ready to do another show with another creator. And there were a lot of things that went crazy with this. It was supposed to be scripted, but then there was a lot of drama that was being created that was supposed to have been for film, but it became personal. Yeah, and it was a lot of backstabbing. It was a lot of stuff. It was just total chaos.
Okay.
So we ended up hijacking the whole cast. So
now
You heard that here first.
it's
Right.
hijacking a bad
A cast hijacking.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
Sorry.
It was mutiny, y'all.
A cast hijacking. The Gentleman Style Show. We do great things. How do you hijack a cast?
Yeah, how does that?
How do you do
How do you
that?
steal people?
Well, we
Tell us about
actually,
it.
because everyone was involved in the mudslinging and the drama and everything, so we just kind of came. We put it behind us after we found out that there was no validity to it, and we pretty much had a kumbaya moment, and we wanted to continue what we were doing, but just go a different, route. The show that I initially started a few years ago when I first moved here was actually a talk show.
Okay.
So we just decided to turn it into a reality show, focusing on women of different walks of lives trying to, brand ourselves, market ourselves, and actually show the real of what we were doing. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people, when you see with these reality shows, they come out and they already have, they've already made it.
Got everything.
They have everything.
Right.
So nobody gets to see their struggle. So with us, you're seeing us from the ground up. Nobody gets to see in the other reality shows the hard work that it took to get them to where they got to.
So you're giving like an inside track on the business behind what it takes to make a show
Right.
like that.
Right.
We're getting more than just the okay.
Finished
This
product.
is
Exactly.
what we're doing. I'm here. I'm there, and everything.
So we
We're going to get okay. I had to pay X amount of dollars to get this license to do whatever. I mean, I don't know. I'm just
Exactly.
throwing stuff out there.
Yeah, you have
On
it
that.
right. You have it right. And a lot of people get discouraged. A lot of people out there, they're looking at TV or they're seeing other people's lives. Say, I can do that.
Yeah.
But how do I get it done? I don't already have this. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth, so I already don't have this stuff. So maybe, I can't do it.
Let's back up a little bit.
Well,
Tell us about
Just
social.
one little quick thing. So in that scenario, so the ladies aren't all pulling up to the restaurant in Ferraris and Bentleys and.
Just me. No, I'm just kidding. No.
Yeah, that's a good one.
No.
No, I just wanted to
We're
know
not.
because I mean, in reality shows, for a lot of these, people that watch those shows, everybody always looks so
Well off.
polished and money's good and
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
no,
No,
if
it's awesome.
if that's your life
Yeah.
for real,
Yeah.
hey, and that's what you're showing. That's great, but then you find out that a lot of those things aren't really true.
Exactly.
So even if it's scripted,
Or they're doing it and they're on the edge and can barely
barely
hang
hang
on
on.
to what they
Right.
have.
so I like that concept of just seeing people grow and seeing how they, from not having. I've always said, even as the money comes, I'm never gonna buy a Bentley. I'm not buying $250,000.
I'm buying a Bentley.
You gonna buy a Bentley?
I've been looking at them hard.
I'm not buying
I ain't even front. I'm just be honest with you.
I'm not buying-
I've been looking at luxury cars. I was like, man, that's like the
I'm not
lowest
buying, I'm
maintenance
not buying
luxury
that
car.
car,
Hot.
but I am going to get that ghost truck, the Bentley truck, the one like
You
DJ
just tell you
Khaled.
we're not
You know
going to
what?
buy
Right.
it. You
I
just
said I wasn't
you're
going to buy
hypocrite,
that.
man.
I said I wasn't
You're
going to buy that
hypocrite.
Bentley. I said, but I want that Bentley truck though. There's a difference.
They are nice.
They are
so
nice. We saw DJ Khaled in Miami, the one he had.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
came out, he had
Yeah.
one. That's
But anyway, that's
when he
totally-
first came.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's neither here nor there.
But
But anyway, damn, what I was gonna say. I forgot what I was gonna say, man.
That's my fault, man.
No, I was asking you about tell us what Socially Lit is all about. That's what I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
Tell us about it. What's the premise?
When I came up with Socially Lit, we're all on social media.
Okay.
Right.
We're all trying to build a
Yeah,
following.
absolutely.
We also like to rub elbows with influential people,
Okay.
artists, athletes, entertainers, people like you guys. Can I get the elbow? I take it still. But yeah, so ATL Socially Lit is all about being lit. I mean, everything ties into it. We party, we turn up, we're into our businesses. It's just everything that's hype. That's us.
That's it.
I like that.
So what are the ranges of personalities on the show?
Oh my gosh. We have an instigator,
Okay.
Bizzy Brea. Who's always,
Is that right?
Yeah,
Is that
who's
right?
always throwing a rock and hiding her hand. She's sitting back.
He's the troublemaker.
Oh yes,
Oh,
but
okay.
she tries to be inconspicuous for hers, but she's the troublemaker.
Okay. Not the
She's very
instigator.
fun. I love
Who
her
else?
life.
Yeah.
We have Lovey D. Lovey D is the peacemaker, the crier.
Cry.
We have.
Is she the ugly crier though?
Oh my
If
God.
she's
What
not an
does
ugly
that
crier,
mean? I don't
it's like when you make that
This is
ugly
ugly
face.
cry.
Oh, the face.
Yeah, you
that.
make that ugly.
Oh, okay.
That's
It's just like
Okay, I got
you
it.
tear everybody up in the room. You
very dramatic. You like.
Okay.
Oh,
Stop crying.
yeah. Okay.
And then we have Jen. Jen is Miss Audacious is what we call her. She's very flirtatious. She'd probably be sitting on one of your laps right about now,
Oh.
giving her interview.
Is that
she's
right?
very flirtatious. Beautiful,
That's Jen.
but she's very flirtatious. She's fun. She's outgoing. She never meets a stranger, and
She don't want to come around.
and she can
Oh my
insert
God.
herself into any situation to have fun.
Is that right?
Yes. And then there is Dee Dee. Dee Dee is our.
Give a pause when you said Dee.
I love Dee Dee to life, but she is our problem child.
What's wrong? What's going on?
Is
with
she the
Dee?
youngest?
Yes.
Okay.
Ah, how'd you know?
Dee Dee tends to put partying over priority.
Partying over priority.
Yes.
I know some
That's-
people like that.
Well,
But
that's
come
the
on.
young. That's the youngest
Yeah.
until you find the
And,
maturity. Yeah.
Yeah. So with her, it's just. Have you heard from Dee Dee? Oh, is she in jail? I don't want to give too much, but yeah.
We gonna pray for you, Dee Dee.
Is our problem child, but we love her to life.
Dee Dee, you're gonna be all right. You gathering a lot of information right now,
And you in good hands.
and you're in good hands. You're in good company.
You
So
got-
you're
you got some-
gonna be all right.
You got.
Can't wait to hear from you. See
You
what
got,
to
you got
say.
military background. You got, someone with a consultant background. You got all the things and resources right there.
You have the
Just-
elements of making for a great human being.
Yeah, yeah.
Your
She's
life
a
is
good
gonna be
person. She's a
great.
great person, though. We just, have to make sure that we embrace her.
Yeah, put your arms
keep
around
her,
her.
yeah.
Keep it straight.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Anything else you want us to know about the show?
I want to know what's next.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you'll have to wait and see when the show airs. I also have the girls, I design as well, and I blog.
Okay.
So I also, I'm working on some dresses, gowns
Okay.
for our reunion show for all the girls.
Oh, that's gonna be good.
So you're gonna outfit everyone,
I'm outfitting everybody.
man.
We get the personal invite to sit in the audience for the
For the reunion?
for the reunion.
Of course, of course.
They're gonna come in.
VIP.
Oh,
Word.
so I didn't even ask for that. I love that. Yes,
But
indeed.
even asking for popping the
Yeah,
bottles
he
like
doesn't
that.
like that. Huh?
Hey,
You know,
you want us to come? Wrong with it.
come to support our lovely ladies at Socially Lit. So yeah, most definitely.
But anyway, but hey, y'all, this is Kimberly Eurell.
You had to say it again, then you knew.
man, that name is like the
I thought you were
bomb.
gonna say it again.
You know what?
Yeah.
I was mad with my father for a long time.
He did
I
great.
would never tell anybody that name. My name's Kim.
He did the right thing.
Well, thank you.
It is,
He absolutely
it is a
did the
beautiful
right
name.
thing.
Yeah, thank
It's a
you.
beautiful name.
Y'all hold on for a moment. We're gonna bring
Bizzy
Brea back in, and we're just gonna have a little conversation real quick. So you just hold on, Gentleman Style. We're gonna be right back at you in just a moment.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
I was like, you know what? I don't like her either. Let's jump her.